Hi, this is Kelly Vess, and today we're going to do something really cool. We're going to take our music and movement slides, and we're just going to kind of take it up a notch and add some animation to them. The reason I want to do this is that last week I was using the Build My House Gingerbread song with a child, and the child was not engaged. I just needed a little bit more engagement for the child, and I was losing the child. And what I did as a result is I went through the movements and the words more quickly, which is really the last thing you want to do when you're working with a child with autism spectrum disorder. You really want to move slowly so that the child has time to perceive and produce the music, the words, and the movements with you. So this is a really cool trick. I did it the next week. I did this yesterday with the child, and the child was engaged in the same song. What I did is I added a little bit animation. I did what like Emerald would call, take it up a notch. So let's take it up a notch today. And let me show you how to do it. First, I'm going to show you what happened to the gingerbread house that I used with her and what it looks like at the end product. And then we'll make one together. So I'm going to go to share screen, and I'm going to show you my gingerbread house. Now, I saved this as the animated gingerbread house because with digital, less is always more. And if the child doesn't need the animation, I'm not going to use it. Instead, if the child doesn't need the animation, I'm going to go without it because I want the child to attend to me. And we teach children what to attend to. We want to teach children, attend to people. People matter, not screens. You know, if I keep saying that, I'm going to believe that, right, in this day and age. So we're going to present here, and I'm going to just show you really quickly what I did. I just added the dough moving around and round as I sung and I did the motions. So you're going to see here, it's going to roll across the screen, layering the cookies. Here we go again, frosting, and then dropping the candy on the house. Okay, so you got to see there what I did, and it really, really did work. The child was was attending. I could move at a slower pace. With the movements, I could go longer. Very important that children imitate your motor movements. It builds their mirror neuron development when neuroplasticity is at a high level. So like I said, if I get a child imitating a movement, I don't care if I'm doing that movement the whole session. That's golden. That's time extremely well spent. So this is it might not seem much, but this is very important what we're doing here today. Okay, so I'm going to create now I'm working on my first week of January right now, the songs for the first week of January. And we're going to work on this together. And this is, I like to drink. The blend is the DR blend. Jr, which is a very powerful blend. If you're hitting the jr, you're automatically directly hitting cha, sha, and ja. Now, many of the children we work with that have the really big cheeks, they have a lot of problems with this sound because it requires maxillary protraction, okay? It requires labial protraction, and it requires the jaw to be slightly open, not all the way open. So you have to have control of your jaw as well. So we can hit all of the sounds by hitting the draw. I also like the draw because the SKR blend, which is my BFF, which is very powerful, the most complex blend in our language, if you don't know about her yet. But anyhow, is all retraction. Skrrr, okay? So if you look at the motor movement and the specificity of the motor movement, the opposite movement would be draw, okay? Retraction, protraction. That said, if I'm at a desert island and I only get one BFF to stay with me in that desert island, that BFF would be SKR. And the reason for that is because I've done the research. If you work on SKR, it does improve the DR sound. So challenge creates change. Rule number one, it's like a fight club. Rule number one of treatment target, okay? The most complex sound will have the greatest difference, and that's this THR, which we talked about before. THR is an outsider, but it's still complex. Okay, let's get back to our lesson here today. So we have I Like to Drink, okay, is the song we're going to make. And let me just show you what it's going to look like at the end. Let me play it for you, and I'll even do the motions for you. Here it goes. Up, play. Okay. I like to drink. I like to drink. I like to drink a bottle of, oh, it's a jar of lemonade. Okay, so here we have the movements. Now you see my movements, they're open and they're up, okay? So the opening of the shoulders with this, it strengthens the core, okay? The up, moving against gravity, strengthens the proximal muscles of the core. Many of the children we work with, particularly with autism spectrum disorder, have great weakness in this area. If you have weakness in this area, speech and gestures and eye contact will be very difficult. So we care about the core. So let's go on and let's build a slide together. And after we make this master slide, we're just going to duplicate it, and change what the child is drinking, okay? So we're gonna spend a lot of time on the first slide, but then after that, it's a piece of cake. So first thing we're gonna do, let's go back to the basics. We're going to go and say slide, new slide. I'm gonna delete all of this. And I'm going to put in my background, which is going to be what is the child going to be drinking. Let's start with water. That's a basic, right? And I always like to use the child drinking water. And the reason for that is because we know in the research that children are more interested in other children than they are adults. So there's a child drinking water. Now I'm going to want to add my title. I'm going to just go ahead and copy and paste. I like the print to be big and bold. So when you do print, think about the breakfast cereal. They paid the big bucks to do the research. What draws the child's attention? Big Cocoa Puffs. Think Cocoa Puffs. Big, bold print, as big as possible. So when I'm doing communication symbols, I like that print, whatever I can fit on that symbol, because a lot of our children learn to read in order to learn to talk. So we have, I like to drink, I like to drink. Now what we want to do is we want to put something over the bottle. So it's going to be a surprise. We don't know what it's going to be, a little excitement here. And I want it to be something multicultural. So I don't want it to be an African-American child or a white child or a black child, a girl. So I want everyone to be able to relate to it. So what I'm going to use, I'm going to use an animal. So I'm just going to go ahead. I did a Google search already through Creative Commons. I'm going to copy that cool owl that I found, because anyone can be an owl. It's like Mickey Mouse. What race is Mickey Mouse? Who knows? When we kind of know the gender, but that's because of many. Listen, so we have here an owl. Okay. Now what are we going to do with the owl? Let's have it spin and fade out. Okay. So we have some movement going on, something to draw the child's attention to us, a little bit extra. So I'm going to animate that, and we're going to go ahead and spin it. And I don't want it to go too quickly because I want it to match my singing. I want it to be on beat with our singing. So let's do it more like a medium length. Then after that, we're going to add the animation, and we're going to want it to disappear so we can see the bottle of water, right? So let's go ahead and, oops, my bad, and add that animation to the picture. And we're going to go ahead and fade it out. And we're going to fade it out kind of slowly. And we want it for a little drama, drum roll, please. And we're going to want to do it after previous. So we don't have to click on it, so we can keep moving our hands and showing the child what to do for motor imitation. Okay. So here we go. Let's give this a try. This is our master slide, which we're going to copy for all the rest to go with. Okay, let's play it. Here it goes. Wait, I'm going to make it a little bigger because you can see that. Wait. You can see the bottle of water. So there's not a lot of drama in that. Let's make this owl bigger. I mean, so they can kind of guess, use a little visual closure. Doing that on purpose. They'll have to figure it out, only seeing part of the bottle. A little excitement there. Little occupational therapists will appreciate that. A visual closure task. They see only part of the object and they have to guess what the object is. All right, let's give it a play. Arms ready, open up. Here it goes. I like to drink, I like to drink, I like to drink a bottle of water. Okay, so there we go. Looks good. So what I want to do is I have the perfect, this is my Mona Lisa. I have the perfect slide. Let's just duplicate this slide. So I'm going to stop my show and I'm going to go on it and I'm just going to go Control D. Oh, sorry. I have to go on it again because I was still playing around. Okay, let me go to my perfect masterpiece slide that we just created together. And I'm gonna go Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. Because I'm gonna want like 5 different drinks. And I'm not gonna make it too long. So the child's like, oh, not another one. We're gonna say, I like to drink. And then we're going to be going into kombucha. I like to drink. How long is this gonna go? I do have fun. So I'm just gonna take my background and I'm gonna change that. So I'm gonna go to the slide, I'm gonna go to background, choose image. I have had fun with my colleagues doing activities like that where it's like a clown car and they don't know how many I'm gonna do. And they're like, how many drinks is she gonna come up with? Oh, I'm so horrible to them. Okay, so what we're gonna look at now is a new thing. Let's have a jar of lemonade, just for a little variety, because we had a bottle of water. Let's do a jar of lemonade. We can have a glass of something later. So let's add this jar of lemonade. That looks good. Okay. So now we have a jar of lemonade and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put the print on there. Oh, I forgot to put the print, I think. We want big print and we want to end the picture, insert a text box. And let's put jar of lemonade, like jar, oops, lemonade. Okay. Let me see a jar of lemonade. I'm gonna make you white and I'm gonna make you 100 power font. Jar, and look how great my typing is. So if I can do this, and I'm very slow on a computer, and it'll take me about 10 minutes total, I think there's no excuses. So I have my jar of lemonade there, and I'm gonna wanna put the owl in front of it. So I'm gonna do order, bring to front. I'm just gonna move the owl back. There we go. So do you see how quickly that is? All I have to do is change the background and change the name of whatever it is. And let's give it a play. The animation is already there, everything. My Mona Lisa is already ready for me. Okay, here it goes. I like to drink, I like to drink, I like to drink a jar of lemonade. Gulp, 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 gulp. Okay. So there you go. So I'm going to go on and I'll do that probably with other things, a box of juice, a carton of milk. I can go on and on. And if you want to play a joke, a mean joke on your colleagues, you can do about 20 different drinks and not let them know when it's going to be over. So have a wonderful vacation. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.